forget exactly what the delay was, but I think some players need to be a little bit more on the ball with having everything ready to play here on ESL. Let's put it that way.
Hey, I mean, you got a couple different options now. You can either go monthly or you can get the league pass as well.
Ooh,
those are
big
pretty
leagues.
nifty. You got the league pass. It also gets you a free highlight reel automatically generated at the end of every season. So,
Wow.
fun fact for you.
That is some big promotion. That's why we're hired. That's why they pay us the big bucks. But finally, we are underway. It's a little bit late. K23, their map pick, of course. They're on the T side. FTW taking that CT start. And yeah, looking at this pistol, all of the T side players are A, and all of the B, all of the CT players are over towards B. So a little bit of a seesaw effect going to be happening this round.
I thought they're just going to run straight on in towards that long side, but they're actually going towards bathrooms here. They're clearing out all control. What is going on here? Making so much noise here. They're trying to draw out these rotates, and they've done so quite nicely, but now they're getting spotted trying to sneak their way down con, and maybe the alarm bell's ringing there for stadodo. Still, he's able to get a little bit of information on X5, and this first kill coming through there. It's going to be a nice little 4v5 advantage, but they still haven't decided on where they want to finish.
I think that duel was so awkward, it actually has caused me physical pain. That's all I'm going to say at this point. But either way, K23, I'm surprised they put the brakes on. I think they thought they would just go. But they've actually fully slowed down for the winner. 4 stacking A will make it free in a Rosdos nearby in heaven. This is perfect for this CT side. Despite being at a man deficit, I think this is a really good position. If they hit the first headshot here, it's going to be so many numbers for K23 to clear out. Flashbangs over the top. It's good, though. Diaz hits the deck. And Jill as well. Make it free. Rosdos, the only man left. And wow, that was quite a sight take. Absolutely annihilating every CT player.
Yeah, it's kind of the magic of one flashbang there on a pistol round. It does so much for you. It helps you scale up. If you're running as a pack unit right there in K23, they place it perfectly to get that close right angle. It's exactly what you need on an execute. Even if you're walking into a stack, if they're not landing those instant headshots or they don't have anyone playing dodge flash, it's very difficult to hold. So, great work being done right there from K23. It was a little bit messy, right? But you said it at the beginning of this game. Maybe we do get a little bit of that North American flair, making me feel at home.
Yeah.
With the pack units, the fast running plays there.
That's what I'm hoping for. Just that you stay nice and comfortable and never know what's coming. That would be ideal. I enjoyed the pistol round, though. I think it was an around the world call, is what we used to call it on endpoint, where you go up through mid and then down connector, but they sort of found the kills and then hit the brakes. It's a bit of a cheeky one. But nonetheless, in this round, more of a default. And there might be some bad news for Idis Balance and Raijin here, because there's 4 in defense. A lot of numbers here.
A lot of firepower, a lot of armor stacked up here. Smoke's going to fade soon towards the top of bathrooms and actually being waited for. That's a big shadow advantage, though, for Arose. And there, they start to realize what they're walking into. Now you couple this with the one player still left on that B side here. We'll see how much Joe can walk away with. stadodo creating some chaos in heaven, and that's what he needed to do. Land that one kill, completely set hesitation. And Gio right now, he doesn't want to move forward at all. Probably going to land right on top of them, but it doesn't matter. They're still starting to arrive onto the scene. Rotations have been bought, and they're going to have a very tough 2v5 ahead of them. Even worse with that flashbang. FTW playing this one perfect.
Ooh. That was aggressive. But with this many numbers, surely it's just a matter of time. Magno here does indeed get traded. Hits the deck, and for the win, claim the half buy. Toilet stack worked out. K23 tried to readjust, but just lost too many numbers in the process, and I enjoyed that round. I enjoyed so many times you see people on these force rounds just playing a standard setup, and they just get, you know, out-rotated, or they're up against rifles the whole time. They can never get in a good position. For the win, fully commit. K23 go B, it's round over. But they fall foul on their default, and for the win are rewarded, I guess, for their boldness.
Yeah, it's also interesting for K23 with the way they were rolling those defaults. If you're going to default towards A and the intention of taking that site, I think you would like to send more resources that way. They only had 2 players kind of moving forward, very little utility. It'd be a big problem for any team, and They learned that out the hard way. Didn't really give themselves a big chance to land any trades or anything like that, despite the stack still being there. So again, FTW playing a pretty gambly style here in these first 2 rounds. Stack towards A both times. But it's not the worst read, right? That's a good idea. It's gotten you a little bit of success here, a chance for even further, as it is going to be all Glocks running on in towards A. They delayed it out a little bit. They're looking to overwhelm, but it's going to be a very difficult task with rotations already arriving onto the scene. DS carving himself up a storm. That's live Geo. He's just going to be bested by the MP9 to cash some stacks right there.
You'll have to see it. A nice 3k freebie for DS. I felt like there was actually a window there to get the plant, given how CZs were playing it, where DS smokes by the sign and then kind of gives them the control. There was a chance there for someone just to get on the bomb, but K23 never went that direction. And we're back on a buy. It's pretty good, given they got reset second round. All in play for Idis balanced. And interesting. Let's see how this works, because they don't really have all the utility, so it's going to be a little bit tricky, I think, to get all this map control.
Very difficult here. You can land some openers. Oh, they're going to flush them out. That's perfect. Nope, nothing you can do besides try and take a fight right there, but this, they got a little bit of passing right there. Diaz gets checked by Rage, and that's great presence of mind right there. And immediately into a 5v3, so a slight lack of utility, not going to be too terribly costly. Just have to wait things out. They've got 1:10 left on the clock. They know that there's going to be some form of re-aggression or some sense of gambling coming on from FTW in this man advantage. We'll see which one it is. FTW, again, already playing a pretty gambly playstyle, so might choose to stack a bomb site here.
Yeah, it feels like they have to. Even this feels like not enough of a stack.
Yeah.
Just these 2 players. I mean, Gil's on a MP9. Rosdos does have a rifle, but it's just going to be so hard to get good trades out of this. Stadodo is prodding towards A. If he could just get over, that would be amazing. And actually, this smoke is going to fully delay this T-side. Time's going to be super low as this smoke fades. This could get really hairy. There's a molly as well on a Rosdos. That's placed at the perfect time. These guys could be in a lot of trouble. Smoke's going to fade. They sit in it. A Gil sees nothing. There goes the molly, and they have to commit. Trades are good. 2 for a Rosdos. Stadodo on the rotate. Still a Rosdos locking down this site. But gets overzealous. He's felled. And now Stadodo 1 on 3. He's got so much work to do. How do you isolate these fights?
It's a big if you even want to here. Stadodo not too interested. And that's what we were talking about. Even in the best of scenarios, if you don't have that extra man rotated over, you're still on a 2v5 on that bomb site. The trade still can come through, and that's exactly what we got. We got a 2-for-2 trade right there. So very clean coming through from K23. Despite FTW playing it very well. The smoke molly combo, I thought maybe that would be enough, but there's not enough resources.
Hindsight's 2020, but I think they win that with Stadodo. I'm pretty confident they win it. Rosdos wouldn't have immediately faced. They could wait for Stadodo to take the next contact on the AWP, and it would have been so difficult because K23 were so disjointed and flustered, and they were just so eager to trade a Rosdos that another player would have been big trouble. But fortunately, they don't lean far enough over. They lost those early players up against the default, and they paid a heavy price for that one. Anyway, another gun round. We'll win just about. Have enough money here to scavenge together this buy. It is a good buy. So that's nice. But I'd like to see Stadodo get involved. He's got to be a big weapon for this team in this sort of matchup.
No question. Especially on Overpass CT side. Rocket on that A side, he's going to need to do a whole lot, but Rose is able to open up things. A little bit of spam straight through the smoke. You'll certainly take that. How that last time played out. Looks like they're setting up a little bit of utility to let X5 get a little bit unleashed here. Nice balance. Got a healthy amount of flash assist in his heat game, so imagine he'll be looking to set up his team for further success in this one as well. But they fall off of this eventually. They aren't willing to commit for too very long. Instead, they set their sights towards that A side, and maybe Stadodo, he is going to have an opportunity to get some work done with the AWP.
Really not sure how aware they are. These players scaling up. Yas is... Oh, he's dancing with the devil. There's so many players around him. And he does go down. Smoke from stadodo will buy a little bit of time. And, ooh, look at the CZ side. They're not biting on this. They've got a lot of... a very bold move, let's say, not to move. I can't believe they haven't rotated. Losing an A player and seeing all those players. What a great read to still have 3 here.
I mean, that's the fate that they place in stadodo, and it's for good reason right now, as they are heading quickly in towards this A side. They spot... B side, rather. They spot a player in graffiti. There's only a 1-for-1 trade so far, and there's that monster presence here. That third man has to have some impact. The op has already arrived onto the scene. Nope, he gets caught in no man's land, and the missed shot from stadodo. Again, a similar situation. They just can't land the kills with only 5 seconds left. They're going to plant the bomb, and stadodo, well, he's not going to be able to fire off another shot in this round.
He just hasn't been involved so far. Just hasn't in any way been able to get that AWP going. Nor the rifles when those have been out either. And yeah, K23, they did have a man advantage that helped. They went into a site with 3 players though, so it shouldn't have been this kind of the plain sailing it panned out to be in the end. So yeah, for the win for me. They've had a couple rounds now where they've had, sites have been in a decent position. And they just haven't been able to convert. From the pistol round to the first gun round. Of course, the last one, they didn't have stadodo over. But in this one again, the setups, the macro is fine. It's the execution of those setups and actually getting the kills off the crossfires that... Something's going wrong right now, and they might need to pause soon to have a discussion about how they're going to fix it.
Yeah, 100% agree. I feel like they're having the right reads. The calling's going really well. Just that small, like, micro landing, some of those kills when you just have the right stacks, right? You have the right resources right there. And it seems like one flashbang for K23 in a lot of separate occasions is doing enough. They had that flash to catch the 2 players over there towards Monster. Graffiti was caught by that flash as well. It just completely disjoints your setup. And, well, you are going to get that timeout that you're hoping for there for FTW.
Beautiful. Well, I think they needed it. It's also because the money is not in a great position. A quick discussion. What's the plan, boys? Guess you got to save here. Oh, yeah, I think the way I was framing the matchup initially anyways, I do believe the K23 have the better individuals. Maybe we're already starting to see that potentially playing out in that FTW are playing strategically a fine game. They're just not able to capitalize. Bit of a worrying trend. And we certainly hope that doesn't continue too far forward. This round is primed for a B rush. Where is stadodo? He's actually in towards B water, but trade comes in. Despite the numbers, not going to get a lot out of this round are for the win. And K23 making it look a little easy up against the Pistols.
As they should. Nice work being done. No troubles here. Gio's looking to create some troubles there as he just gets free-fired by Gio. Nice work from him to close things out. Making it relatively clean. That only kill coming through from stadodo's op. He was in the right place. He was over on that B side. I do like to see that call coming through from him. If you're not getting much action on A, maybe you need to, inch your way further towards Fountain and actually try and get it, initiated here in these rounds. Try and get yourself 4v5 advantages for FTW. Or you can maybe start your round off over towards that B side like you did in that last round. It's a nice little adaptation, although it doesn't end up panning out for the round.
Ooh. Bit of a chance. For the win. Very standard opening. Very standard. So, haven't yet decided to throw caution to the wind. Comes a cheeky run boost. X5 on the top. Idis balance peeks in. Well constructed. And it's pretty passive stuff just playing over towards this divider side for the moment. So, K23 getting a lot of real estate for free right now.
Or good utility. Maybe that molly not right on the money, but it still baits out of smoke, so definitely some value. And they're scaling a Blong. This isn't known to FTW at the moment. Surely they will come and check it at some point, but stadodo, he can't be too lackadaisical. Right now he's been spotted. I disbalance, catches him on the jump peak right there, and again, there's 2 riflers up close and personal. One flash can execute in. There's a flash, there's the utility. Raging already past the sight lines here. He's able to disjoint this sight hold. He's still able to find a kill. He finds another one. Eventually finishes off the player in bathroom. stadodo misses. And Raging finds all 3 on the entry. That is stunning. no business finding 3 kills, but he completely dismantles that A-side setup.
Oh, that's just unfair. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do against that? I said, yet again, another round where For the Win are not in a horrid position when it comes crunch time, but they can't live with a player of Raijin's caliber in this round. He absolutely annihilates them. Instant save call. They're moving back, and even these two, I've been a spot of bother. Maybe they heard. Magno dropping down. He almost paid the price for that trigger discipline. But, yeah, this is I think this is already pretty worrying. I know it's K23's pick, but For the Win have not mounted a lot of resistance so far on the CT side. Even when it looks like it's going to go well, the individuals just shine through from K23, and these setups are not kind of staying above water. They're sinking.
I mean, the most telling part right now is that they aren't in those bad positions. They always are. You know, sending the resources, they've got the rotations. It's like they got the fundamentals down. They just need to land the shots to back things up right there. Or even a little bit of communication here between these setups, right? You said this earlier, but the crossfires don't seem to be all there. The way that they're, you know, taking contact, it's not flawless, whereas the positions might be better and should be able to take advantage of K23's aggression. Trying some gimmicks though to open things up right now. A little boost in towards short pipe. Always has some promise to it. But no one's taking aggressive short control, so eventually you're going to have to fall out of this, and your next mission is figuring out how exactly you're going to get out of connector with Raging standing close by. Well, able to sneak past him for now.
More mid control. They really do like this 2-1-2 default. Clearly their standard. Approach. This could get a bit frisky as the shots are exchanged between the legs. But AK beats out measly pistol. And it's pretty plain sailing so far. There's another boost looking like it's happening over by this divider smoke, but Raijin doesn't peek out. If he peeks out now, it could be a bit easy.
Oh.
They spotted the rifle though, and I think that might be the cue. Hit B, you know where the rifle is.
You spotted the rifle and another player, so, right, that's at least 2 pistols on B. It's such an easy call to make right now, and finally, FTW, they don't have the right resources on the right bomb site. They'll be left with a bit of a retake effort here. Again, maybe let Rose get some damage done with his one. 3,400 on the loss bonus. It's not the biggest of worries at an economy. You're going to have investments up either way. Obviously, you would like to hold on to as much as possible, but another save here. Another round for K23 having no troubles in this one. I even like the way that Raging doesn't overcommit there for that fight. It's really promising stuff.
It's been pretty much perfect. And he made a wrong move. Of course, they did lose that second round, but it happens. It happens to the best of us. Ever since then, they've been so on the money. So many good go-rounds. Simple CS. Raijin's tearing them a new one as he goes into these bomb sites. He's been out of control. And I know we already had one pause, but maybe it's time for another for the Win, because this map feels like it's slipping out of control. Indeed, we see it. Is they need to have a discussion, and I really wonder at what point did they decide that playing passive is not going to work. It's not going to work. We have to change the game somehow. We have to try and get an entry, because as we've seen, even when they're in good positions, playing out these late round scenarios hasn't been favorable for them whatsoever.
Yeah, you might be seeing like still the struggles of building up these like foundational roster moves, right? The firepower, the slight lack of coordination in some of the setups, despite having the right reads here. Definitely coming calling, but again, there was another timeout taken, so see if that gets him back into the game. I would definitely like to see stadodo try for some early activation. He tried one round there a couple rounds ago, and he missed his chance to shoot, actually. Had a quick switch a little bit too soon. This time he's over in towards that B side, so taking that different approach here. He's going to be met with a little bit of short aggression here soon.
Ooh, big kill. Big kill. I think stadodo was full blind as well. So it looked like from the mini-map. Good connection. And stadodo on the move, in some senses, is paying off. Starting to get himself into this game. And K23 for the first time in a heck of a long time. and now actually going to play from a deficit. Going to make some difficult decisions. And they might be just about to meet some lead here in the toilets. Oh my god. What?
Oh, they couldn't afford that right there. X5 immediately just matches up when things were going right. There's the turnaround. Nope, trying to hold on for dear life, but he's getting tested from multiple different angles. Long pressure again from Rage. We've seen him thrive in this spot before, and this time there's much less targets. As Nope, he doesn't even want to stand on the bomb site. He's gonna fall off and give it up right there. Site gonna be claimed here by K23. Now they got a 3v3 post plant.
Fallen how to convert. They can't keep shedding rounds here, especially with the amount of advantage. One smoke on a gill. Flash comes over. They're going to peek as a player up close. Magno traded. But that AWP is ever present. Smoke on the bomb will make it at least somewhat doable. Raijin still on the rifle, though. Tap comes in. Orozdos decides to hold. Lead coming through the smoke, but it's not connecting. Raijin swings, and actually, he just... I mean, how close was that? I can't believe they stuck that bomb. And, wow, that was a roller coaster of a round.
It's a nice little textbook retake right there with the smoke. You have your player without a kit playing Overwatch right there, making sure that he's safe. Making sure that it's not too comfortable to just pop some bullets down range and try and land the spam. So
that was about I just saw the
work.
replay. That's about a tenth of a second.
Wow. Yeah, he got it. He got the defuse on, but I thought the kill came through. I couldn't quite tell until I saw.
I actually thought he had
that round count.
I
increase.
thought K23 won it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh god, they haven't. I need to change what I'm saying mid sentence. But I mean, X5's 2K there in toilets.
Oh.
I'm not sure that we're allowed to show that. I mean, that is absolute filth. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a really promising adjustment. I liked it, right? You have your op find a pick over towards B. Now your op's all the way in bathrooms. That's the sort of fluidity that I need out of stadodo. But it doesn't pan out for the most success. At least they do in the round, though. That's what matters at the end of the day, right? Even if it wasn't the way that you anticipated. That Vincent blocks a lot of damage there, and it's going to block a lot of vision as well. But roll is so long. Orozdos left into no man's land, and Magno, he might have one, but he'll get two right on back, just like last round.
Yeah, just way too many players in the vicinity. Way too many to deal with. And K23 pumped the brakes. It was definitely a case for committing. And Raijin could be in some trouble here. Molly goes deep, but stadodo is a little bit in front of it. He's actually going to back behind. So Raijin takes more control. That's going to keep Diaz, I think, on this A-bomb side. So rotationally, this is looking good for K23. There's only one in defense, and with all the nades, with all the utility, it's going to have to be a hell of a hold from Nope.
It's around the pillar. That flash catches him to perfection right there. X5, perfect setup. Now there is one on the bridge already, and one some shots off right there in stadodo. But again, back into the 1v3. This is familiar territory. What's not so familiar is this flank that's been formulating from Raijin. He has to play these angles right, but he just has the cutoff. Knows that stadodo's here, so he's going to take both angles here. Stadodo, his days are numbered, feels like. Getting a little bit of a chase in there. Oh, knife. Oh.
I got the ace.
Okay, Magno. Yeah, go and grab your ace. Why not? I thought the knife was coming through, but an ace is more important, to be fair.
I mean, he's come alive in the last 3 rounds. Raijin was well ahead around the round 6-7 mark, but Magno, geez, man. This guy is he's out of control. And Fallen just can't live with the mechanical ability at the moment. They're getting picked apart. Their setups aren't functioning. stadodo has had his moments, but hasn't been able to contain these riflers. And Idis Balance is just having a field day at the moment.
This is the sort of round where you're like, oh, nice, we got off the riflers from the op, so now we can go and get the op. Well, Idis Balance, he's a little bit harder to put down than they would have initially felt like. So stadodo have to dance in between these angles with only a USP to his name. And they're playing Overwatch on the op. They're not letting him grab this for free. So Magno, chance to farm up another kill here. 18-6. I was going to say he was very close to that 3.0 KD in the last round. Well, now he finally made it.
Jaya and I just balanced watching on and laughing. They're thinking, we don't need to do anything. We send the kids in. They get all the frags. Make it look easy. And for the win, we know it's not one of their more flushed out maps, but the fashion of this game, and when the macros looks okay, but the micro has been disastrous. I don't know. I'm kind of stunned how dominant this is looking right now. Was that a full wall bang?
Oh, give him a break. Straight. It looked like straight through the wood wall right there. That's unreasonable. Not fair. And then they're queuing up this execute here, but no commitment needed right now. Toss up a little bit of utility downrange just to create a little bit of chaos. Maybe even to force stadodo back deeper in towards that B side here. Getting a little battle of the spam here, and neither one wants to let up.
Feels like they're getting a lot of this map for free in these rounds. Of course, we had the monster push that was a bit of a disaster in the end, but I think they might have just scared for the win out of making any moves. stadodo now is only just peeking towards long, and wow, they just sat back for so much of this round. Whilst K23 play with their food, as you said, they're just baiting nades. There's barely anything left now for this CT side. And with them grouping up towards A, stadodo, he's just got his AWP in hand. He has to hit every shot here to make this doable.
Yeah, Dice is kind of being covered as well by the op of I Disbalance, so initial flash absolutely destroys him. That's the alarm bells ringing, and yeah, I mean, look what you have to do when you're getting caught by one flash. You have to run away, and he tries to resurface, but Magno, this guy, in the last 3 or 4 rounds has been an absolute Goliath, and well, he's found himself 2 kills to secure another round. That's all that they'll have to say about this one. I gotta say, that was an incredible reposition, an incredible mid-round from K23. I think they saw where that smoke was coming from for Monster, so that's kind of the feeling of very little control on that the bathroom side of things, because you know that smoke is coming from dumpster. So they immediately see that smoke, they start to reroute, they start to realize that they have a lot of free control towards that direction, and that's an excellent read.
I really hope for the win's sake that these guns make it through. Jai is so close. Diaz on the angle. Oh, it gets awkward. And they can't find any extra frags at the end. It doesn't matter if they die because the money is so good. There's only 3 rounds left in this half. I was actually having a look. I'm not the most familiar with Magno. I know he's a new player for this team in this season, but he's only played for Webster's, which I doubt you've heard of. They're probably 150th best HLTV team. They scrim a lot. I don't see them in many tournaments, but I am aware of them. But apart from that, not a lot of experience for this kid. So I have to assume more of a pugging background. And wow, what a way to showcase yourself in some high tier Counter-Strike. He's absolutely ruining the Portuguese squad.
Yeah. I mean, just dismantling him. That was a round won by him alone. He had a round prior. He won it alone with the ace. I don't know if FTW are going to have anything to say in this half here. And again, I feel like T-side Overpass, it's kind of fallen better into form with the A1S nerf, so it's not like it's the olden days. But 9 rounds is a little bit too much on the T side, right? No question about that. That's a cushion that you would absolutely love. And a 5-man boost assembled so quickly here. And the icing on the cake is a little player jumping out of heaven. That is so pretty. And now look at this. They already have map control. You wouldn't anticipate this, but still the trade comes through. They tried to capitalize off the map control that's conceded, but they disassembled that thing so quickly and got themselves posted up. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
There's just no mercy. There's no mercy here at all. Everything seems to be working. And for the win, gotta be scratching their heads in this game. They made a reaction here to take B short. That's a nice kill. And actually, Nope collects another at the same time. So, situation flips back into their favor. That kind of came out of nowhere. Good piece of proactive play. And they most certainly need to capitalize upon this. They can't drop the ball now.
Oof. Walking right into the crosshair of Idis Bounce. Again, that flash being set up, you're still feeling the presence of two. And that monster smoke from the A side thrown on in. And bomb just being retrieved with 35 seconds left. That's not a lot of time to work with here. And I don't think FTW are going to be shifting up their setups anytime soon, with stadodo aggressing out towards long and getting ready to activate on a pretty quick flank. So waiting inside this smoke is going to be the last-ditch effort for K23. We'll see how this pans out for them. There's no more utility. It's just going to be firepower that needs to deal with this defense. And I just balance. He jiggles the corner. He's getting those alarm bells, and they both fall to rage. And now it's his turn to step back up and take the bomb site. He didn't take a point of damage.
stadodo's got to be asking, where's my teammates gone? How has this happened? How again have we been in a decent position to be able to get nothing out of it? Takes one tick of the molly as stadodo creeps his way in. He does have a kit. That's the good news. But how do you get a good fight out of this? Idis Balance is not going to peek alone. Raijin could even flash over on a tap, perhaps. And they're just playing so slow. Time is whittling ever so far down. It's a nice kill from stadodo. But unless he can stick this through, it's not going to be possible. Raijin swings. Makes it a 12 kill for him. He's up 12-4. You wouldn't believe he's not even the top on the server. He's not even near Magno. And Raijin's having a stormer game.
Yeah, that was just pure impact right there. Again, finally a man advantage, so necessary. You still have a 2v2 on that D-bomb site. That should be more than enough to get the job done, but again, it's one of those communication or contact issues right there where you get jiggled out, that close half-wall position, your pillar player wide swings into an instant headshot that was covered by Raijin, and then you're left with 40 HP in that close half-wall. What are you going to do there versus two? You're just gonna fall straight up. So this trend just continues throughout the half here.
This is going to be early. Flashes are ready. They might go through this. Break supplied. They've actually made a hell of a call. I mean, look at the CT setup. They're free stacking A. They made a good read. There's only two in defense, and they both got MP9s. Whew. This is going to be able to be a hell of a hold. Flashbang comes in. Rosdos ready to peek. Gets the first. Very awkward as these players come through the smoke. Make it two. And actually, the trade's looking pretty good. Team kill in the mix. Another situation that's looking good now for this CT side. There's a fast flank from Diaz. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, but they can't drop the ball here. This game is out of control if they lose this round.
Got so much going. They got this flank formulating, but they don't have any kits here, so that could be a bit of a problem. Idis Balance trying to play around the one-way here. Jayo. His flank is routed up short, so DS has a freebie. Now there's no way Idis Balance can find his way out of this one. Perfect flash. That's going to nail him to the wall right there. Plenty of time to get that defuse on off, and they do get the necessary round. If Jayo was able to disjoint that, though, if he was able to, keep his awareness sharp, be prepared for that late flank, that could have been super scary, because then you're talking about a 2v2 post plant. He has short control, and you don't have a kit.
I'm still a little blown away that they managed to hold the site with 2 MP9s in that scenario. They found 2 kills. There's also a team kill, so essentially they went 3 for 2. And given the weaponry, given the way that CT side was leading, given the extra few seconds it bought for those rotations, really did make a big difference. So, for the win, finally coming good on a defense, on a side defense, and they need to keep it up. 5 rounds here would be, at least that's something to work with. 4, when they got a second round reset, for me, just isn't enough. It isn't enough, especially on K23's map pick, and thank God stadodo is getting his teeth a little bit into this game. Opening pick first for him for a long time, and, well, K23 for the win looking a little bit better in this round.
Much more comforting having a 4v5 advantage, although it hasn't necessarily converted their rounds by any means. There's always Magno that can step up and find himself a multi-kill, speaking of which. Dancing between these timings. Just waiting for any sort of short aggression. Magno. Keeping out, but will he check what's right underneath him here? Doesn't see it. Doesn't spot it out. That is such a freebie. Oh, what a cheeky little angle there. And it's going to queue up a pretty fast B play, but they're ready for this.
So many in defense. Rotates early as well. Molly is nice, but fundamentally, endless players here. They can just send them over the trenches for the win, and with this time remaining, how on earth you isolate good fights? The flashes make this so awkward. Is a 1-for-1 trade, but it's not going to be enough. Idis balance, 1-on-4. Runs his way back into B short, but with this time remaining, it's going to be all she wrote. 5 rounds before the win. It's a decent recovery. I don't think it's going to be enough to be going into second, to be honest, but there's only one way to find out. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll see if For the Win can indeed turn this game around. Welcome back. Half number 2. This is map 1 of the series, K23's map pick. And they've looked pretty good, as has Raijin, but there's one man. Magno. Need to learn how to say it. We're going to see a lot of this kid over the next few years, I think, already, because this guy is ridiculously good. I can't believe some of the kills he was finding that first half.
And just go ahead and pluck them on outsiders here and call it a day. Right?
Yeah.
K23 will be reeling. Right back where they're very good at finding talent. It's another one of those CIS teams. I guess it's not very hard to find in a certain sense. There's a plethora of it. So, Magno, another name to add to that list to keep your eye out for, apparently, from this game. Guy is an absolute beast. He's been doing the impossible in some of those rounds, so So very fun to watch. And we'll see if the CT side can get the same success here. Already you get that initiative, Gio, taking some fights towards the top of Fountain on this pistol, and they've got this set up behind it. A lot of attention towards this top connector crawl out, and that's exactly where FTW kind of want to lean their way out of.
I think they're in big trouble here. It's a bait setup because there's a player divider. Gio can swing, and then Raijin can get activated. Stadodo fortunately takes first contact, so he can call it out. And actually, K23 think better of it. They're going to readjust, and with that information, it's going to be a B hit. Heaven Smoke coming over. There's only 2 here for the K23 squad right now. Rotates are fast, though. Players behind him, backwater. Magno called upon. Idis Balance finds one. But they're losing teammates. Raijin hits the deck. Magno's still alive here, backwater, but with the way these trades have been going, it's not looking amazing. Idis Balance gets one. Rosdos chimes in an absolute fist fight here on the B-bomb site. And it just leaves Idis Balance 1 to find, 17 HP, 4 bullets left in the chamber, and he can't get it done. It was a heck of an attempt. 4 kills for Idis Balance, but eluded by red HP in the end.
One more bullet. Could have been the ace right there. He knows that Idis Balance so very close to closing that one out, but that is a big round right there from FTW. Get your head back in this game. Again, not the most CT-sided map. Still very CT-sided, but things have shifted nowadays. We no longer live in insanely CT-dominant world. So there's opportunities, like you said, 5 rounds. It's a little bit of cushion, especially if you get that pistol. You can get right back into rolling here. There's 5 players ready to get just mowed down by the MAC-10 and Galil combo. That's just a throwaway round. We'll call it 7 before the first gun rounds, and then rubber meets the road here for FTW.
I guess it's not insignificant that off the back of that 4K, Idis Balance has the money for an AWP in this first gun round. That might be unexpected. For the Win might not think there's an AWP in play right now. They might contact into infrared control or something of the sort. So let's keep an eye on that. Not normal you see an AWP out this early. I guess they could be fearful of a glass cannon, but Idis Balance is going to get chances. And he picks it up at the first call. First port of call. Immediate connection. 5 on 4. And looking good already for K23.
Well, yeah, and we already see a key difference here between some of the styles here. K23 already getting in their face. Getting aggressive with that up. Stadodo. About this time of the round, he was all the way in the back of sight, jump spotting. And it wasn't even like it was a bad idea. It was just he never got impact because they weren't really heading towards A a lot of those rounds. When they were, well, he had to deal with some nasty riflers as well. They still have to deal with some nasty riflers. There's 2 players that are ready on defense here. Gio and Raijin just both playing inside of the bathrooms here, taking deep control with 50 seconds left. That is so much time. They still have extra utility. They're starting to spread their defense a little bit thin. They're getting caught in a transitional period right now, and we'll see where those resources line up.
Lug smoke down. How's these CTs getting a lot of space? K23 know nothing. They have no information. Just now seeing this execute come in. Idis Balance. I think he's in a lot of trouble. And indeed he is. No scope doesn't connect. Gio does find 2 though. Those are some big frags. Bomb now to be planted. Man advantage though for this K23 squad. 2 coming up from connector. Stadodo's on the angle and he gets 2. Big frags from the Portuguese AWPer. And now Raijin, no kit, 1 flashbang. A smoke would help a lot here. He might actually have to save. I don't think this is winnable.
You just can't, right? You just cannot win this round. It's a 10-second defuse. Your only option is to chase them in bathrooms where they can just run away from, right? We've all been in that position where you're trying to land those kills, but then they can just fall back infinitely in towards long or and connector, wherever they want to go. And there's still 2 that you have to deal with. So Raijin knew his odds were 0% in that round without a kit at the very least. Maybe if he had a smoke, maybe if he had a kit, he could have gotten the job done right there. But that's kind of the difference between a 3rd round buy versus like a 4th round buy, right? Usually you will have those extra resources late into a round. It's always a little bit of a risk there, but FTW, that's certainly a round that they needed, and a little bit of a level up there from Stadodo as well.
Awesome big kills. I think that was the first time we've seen mistakes. I mean, sizable mistakes from K23. I don't know what they were doing with the rotates. It was just so hectic. It was like, guys, just commit to something. We can't be transitioning this much. And
Yeah.
eye disbalance. He sees the lurk smoke. There could be players behind it, and he chooses to go in front of the stairs smoke and try and get the truck when flashes are coming over. It's I don't know. I think he should have known roughly what was coming, or at least been aware of the possibility. And yeah, they could just never get on the same page on that defense, and they've paid a pretty heavy price. And that price is allowing this game to be evened up. They had a man advantage there, and they couldn't convert it. So K23 are starting to cede this lead, and it's looking a little bit nerve-wracking.
No question. There's opportunities starting to arise here for FTW, but they got to convert this round here, and I'm a little bit worried that walking into this op is going to be to their detriment. Also walking into this boost, they dismantle one, knock one off the perch, but X5, he's still able to stand tall with his armor as well. They're rerouting in towards A very quickly here. Jayo, he's only got a 5.7, or rather a CZ. Long range duels,
got
Diaz.
so much room. Oh god. That wasn't the fight. That wasn't the fight,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, this AWP is so valuable. AK on X5. Unless a lot of players present themselves overzealously, I think you got to save this, boys. Ollie comes in, and I think the call's been made. There you go. It will be 9 for 4 the win. Pistol helps, of course, but yeah, they're doing a lot of work here to make this game compelling now.
Impressive stuff right there. Getting a great mid-round. They didn't quite... I don't think they fully saw eye disbalance with the op, but he never got a chance to pop a shot off there. He was so hungry for like a monster peak. He was also worried about Stadodo's op and the counterpart there. So he wasn't able to get that full activation that was necessary to, set up those pistols. Another round one here. We're one off the tie just as quick as can be. I was kind of counting FTW out a little bit there, but they got those last 2 rounds with the half there. That built up a little bit of a cushion. And now they're one off a tie. These T sides, it seem like they're a formula for consistent success. Again, we've only seen 1 gun round. This is our second. So we'll see how this one with the full force, kits, full utility on everyone. Nothing's lacking here.
No excuses. No excuses. Zydis Balance is a nice spawn. He's going to peek. This time, Flashbang is going to deny him a chance to take a pot shot on the cross. A Gil top spawn. Fast in towards Connect to get 2 frags out of it. Flashbang from Stadodo helping, but wow. What a chain of entries. Where was that aggression on the CT side? Didn't see anything of the sorts. And now in a 5-on-3 situation to even up the map. For the winner, looking like a different team on this T side.
They really have completely turned around here. Just looks so much better. They've got the firepower that they were completely lacking. That's a nice double kill coming through there. Ragin dancing inside of the smoke. Oh, they start to realize I'm getting blocked by something. They're just going to sit inside of it here. It's all 5 players waiting outside of it. All 4 rather. But nope, finds 2 immediately. I just bounced. He's going to show up in this A side here. And that's just going to be the cue to rotate down connector. But it doesn't seem like they've seen him just yet. They're still walking in. Well, no, that bomb is making his way down. They're trying to get DS to drop this op, I think.
Well, yeah, round is over. So. Ooh, it's gonna get spicy. First shot misses. And doesn't live to tell the tale. 10 apiece. No saves. It's a really borderline buy here for the CT side. What are they going to do? I think that, yeah, they are going to buy into it. Wow. Okay. All the chips on red in this round. And somehow I didn't feel like it's going to be an even game as off the back of that first half. That first half was so dominant up to the very last couple of rounds. Before they can even get into rounds. And even when they were in good positions, they couldn't convert ever. So I'm a little bit stunned it's evened up. And I suspect K23 are in the same boat. They got a few questions to answer now we get into these latter stages.
Different position for Idis balance again. The classic CT side opping endeavor, right? You go on a journey in this map. You start on A. Eventually, you have to change things up. You gotta give yourself opportunities to open up proceedings. Well, Arose, he's nailed this timing to perfection. He's right in between the defense right now, but can he anticipate this flank? He won't.
I can't believe they cleared that.
This is insane.
I'm a little bit stunned because Idis balance was on the angle. They should never have expected a player to be in sandbags.
It's right between them. Off angle. Perfect from Jayo, but it's only good for one here. And missed op shot from Idis balance. It could be very costly. It's just a leg shot, rather. Either way, 4v3 hesitation starting to set in for FTW for what feels like the first time in this entire half.
Flash is good. Idis balance repositioning to Dice. I think For the Win should save. I really think they should save here. I don't think you can take this bomb site. It's going to have to take a monstrous entry. A Gill's up close. Maybe can isolate a one-on-one, but he can't win it. Nope there for the trade. But there's still 2 here in defense. Scaling up now. No flashes remaining to be pulled over the top. That's another good kill. But there are just so many players here to fell, and with this time left, gotta be careful he doesn't die after time, actually. That's the only saving grace. And K23 just about hold on.
Would have been nice to save for sure, but they actually did find a lot more damage than I anticipated.
Yeah.
At the end of that round, finding 2 kills, you know, making sure that you hit that magic number of 3 kills in a round. If you're gonna lose it, right, that's gonna force you, at least a singular player, to be on like a FAMAS, or I guess in this case in an A1S with lacking utility. So, I mean, again, loss bonus is very much so in favor for K23, but little exit damage. Definitely something to work with here with all that reserve here. Wide swing, they cannot escape. They needed to land those kills, and they do. There was no falling off from that position right there, and X5 gonna go 2 for 1. It's time for him to turn up in this half.
It's been a long time since I've seen this many duels in towards Connector. But now we refocus our attention. Monster walkout from 2 players. X5 called upon. Not troubled. Not troubled. Erastos is already tagged up a tad and gonna make it all the easier for these rifles to chew him up. There's been no response in this round after losing those early engagements in towards Connector. What do you even do from here? I mean, it's a long time to save if they consider that route. Right now, Nope is just prodding and poking, but look at the CD side. They're so passive. They have no intentions of giving up this man advantage easily.
Not at all. Looking to, I think, maybe just save as they fall off. And yeah, especially as Nope picks up that AWP, right? That's kind of your hint as to whether or not FTW are going to give it a trial in this round. I do got a question. I think in positions like this where you have a lot of extra economy, it's really good to save on these T-side rounds. What are your thoughts when you have like 0 money in reserve? You're going on a T-side save with very little loss bonus, and it's probably going to disjoint your next gun round. I mean, as a coach...
Yeah, I mean, it's... do
you think that's a good idea?
On the edge. I mean, how the question you also have to ask is, how do you ever end up in a position where you could... I mean, you're playing so slow if you get to a point of actually being in a... You know, you never got to execute a site, or you just get picked apart. So something's gone horribly wrong in the first place. But yeah. It's a tricky one. If it's a scenario where you couldn't buy in the following, there's a big case for playing for damage over saving. You certainly wouldn't, rush into a bomb site. You'd be smart about it. You'd try and isolate a player, but it's very rare there'd be a scenario where you'd lost that many players and you didn't know about someone being exposed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite normal that you try and get a few kills, but. Yeah, I've seen it all too often where teams do just save, puts it out of balance, and they're literally 4 or 5 gun rounds where they don't actually have all the bells and whistles. Here comes a B aggression though, and a monster from these two. 1-for-1 trade, but they do get the information that nobody else is out there, so should be a cue to lean harder over towards A.
Some of this B aggression has just been working out very well for K23, and A aggression now working out as well. Jayo I think he does need to level up his performance a little bit if he wants to close out the CT side. He's been called upon here. I just balance the same. He has coverage from the backside, but stadodo's able to overwhelm and just raging left on the side. He's made some noise. He's gotten loud about things. He's able to sneak around them. Oh, this is a perfect play from range, and he's able to find the first. stadodo's picked himself up a rifle to get the job done, and he's able to take the head off. Now he needs to take down the Goliath of Magno. 22 kills. He's kind of stalled out. Last couple. Back of APC here. Magno waiting for this sort of aggression. stadodo might walk right into his hands here. Will he clear his angles? Will he play his cards right? Nothing's been spotted. I thought Magno might have seen a shoulder. But he's still holding his nerve. stadodo going to start this plant off. Finally punching in the numbers. That's going to keep Magno to inch his way out of bank slowly but surely. stadodo closes in on him. Perfect pre-fire coming through, and stadodo continues his T-side dominance.
Massive round. Massive round. That's really changed the complexion here. I'm really stunned that even went to a doable scenario for stadodo. Massive 1-on-2. And it's in those sort of positions where his experience can shine through. He's so patient. Plays the clock. Doesn't get overzealous. He did almost peek right into the bank and die, but thin margins often his counter-strike. And for the win, what a gritty performance. The idea they're even still in this is crazy to me. But on this round, they've got to be so careful. Look at this A setup. 4 in attendance. They're super aggressive. One wrong move, and this round might already be over.
I have a little spot, but in doing so, does catch himself a hefty bit of damage. They don't have the best guns for some of these angles, so Magno.
No.
He's fallen off of long.
No.
Back to back. Oh, Jayo. No way he's going to get away with too much here. Nope. Showing around the corner there. Now that's the alarm bells. Diaz instant trade. I actually cannot believe his luck right there. That even goes 1-for-1.
Shouldn't there have been somebody holding his back? That, I don't know. Looking a little bit janky on this CT side.
Ooh.
Making mistakes they weren't on the offense. And it's crumbling a little bit. It's crumbling a little bit. Such a tough hold now. Raijin has to perform. First kill found, and actually the cavalry is in a different postcode. They're so far off. What do they do? 30 seconds? We've got one flashbang. Diaz is trying to make space. Flash is coming in, but this heaven smoke is not going to last. Soon as that fades, stadodo becomes a massive weapon. Good kill found. But Magno stays alive, and now with this heaven smoke gone, Idis balance surely can come into play. stadodo called upon again. And make it 2-on-1 work. Idis balance can't connect. Maybe there is an opportunity. Time is dwindling ever so quickly. Digis tapped in. Idis balance knows his default. Oh, this is on a knife edge. Who's going to peek first? stadodo connects. 5 HP. AWP on AWP. Idis balance jumping around. Who's going to win? It's going to be stadodo. Second 2v1 win. And this boy is saving the Portuguese squad right now.
My, oh my. He got 2 1v2 victories back-to-back rounds, man. That is going to certainly re-inspire you. Again, we said that this guy, he needed to get activated in that CT side. Well, he started it a half late, and it has been beautiful. He saved his strength here for the T side. He's certainly getting activated in these late rounds, man. It's looking very likely that FTW, if they're able to capitalize on this lacking purchase, they could take the lead here and overpass in a fashion I could not have anticipated. Completely flipping the script here.
It's getting a bit out of hand. Was stadodo's stats reset on the halftime?
Yes.
Okay, he's having a heck of a T-side. Ooh, it's getting a bit frisky here in Connector. Somehow Raijin not taken up by that first molly, but the second one could cause him a lot of problems. Nope, says nope to that peak. Still a player up close and long. That's Magno. But given how Jayo slipped the net last time, I guess a little bit more on edge here on For the Win. They know these CTs like to push around.
Gotta activate here soon. I know he's being covered, but his teammates in Connector are getting caught, and there's another one in Connector. Region, same fate. Yes, farming up with the Mac 10, and they know that there's a player in Long Bath. I know got a shot popped off on him. Nice to Dodo. What? Oh, he was able to eventually land it. That is unreal. Straight through the smoke. What a statement. Is Overpass T-sided now?
Apparently it's where the god players come to play. Magno and Raijin have not had a lot of impacts on this defense. I think Magno was at about 20 dead. It was 19 or 20, I think, at the half flip, and Raijin was something like 13. It's actually been, I think, Idis Balance, honestly, that's been the best player on this defense so far, and it's not been enough.
Yeah, for the 2 rounds that they were able to get, it was X5 with a 3K. I think he finished with a 4K, and then Idis Balance as well. With the AWP finding a couple nice multi-kills, but again, that clearly isn't enough, right? You do need to save yourself for 2 halves of the game right now, and K23 not quite doing that. Haven't been able to show up in this defense, and again, I feel like some of these different rounds, they have the right setups, they have the right numbers. That clutch factor has certainly been in FTW's camp, so you got that going for you as well. But I feel like even when you're having these right setups, K23 just not able to formulate a defense. Getting picked off early as well has been a bit of a problem. So we'll see if they can try and put their heads back in this game here. Only 1 molly towards long side. That molly didn't connect.
Happens all too often. Unfortunately. Very slow T round here. Very slow. 2 in connector, 2 outside of monster. Maybe they're suspicious of some more B aggression. That's why they're just playing super slow. But now some control comes in.
Right.
Oh god, yeah. This is going to be so awkward as they come through the smoke.
Yes. When's he gonna fall? Oh my god, he just stays.
He's slipping. He's slipping.
Stay, hold DS. We'll see those rock climbing skills. How much endurance does he have? He's not moving a muscle. Oh my god. That is unreal. I can't believe he didn't fall. I would have tried to like surf off there and land the double kill, but I probably would have just gotten swiped aside. Of course.
He's just in a trance. He's enjoying himself. That's all we can say.
With all this B aggression, it's leading in towards a heavy A-side stack right now. 20 seconds left, and they're losing numbers on the A side. They cannot afford that. Nope, has a chance for another. He's landed 2 kills as a solo A player. He is completely selling this one. They're not ready for this. Stadodo gets stinked down. There's no need to re-peek. There's no need to take any further aggression. You've already got the post-plant positions going your way. And it's got to be a save, surely, right?
Yeah, it does. This defense has been non-existent. K23 can't make the right reads. They're all over the shop. They're making individual moves. They're aggressing monster, but not actually clearing it. And I don't know. It doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like they're reacting correctly across the map. It feels like everyone's playing their own game of Counter-Strike, and right now, each player is essentially playing 1-on-5 against a well-oiled team, and it's not working. It's been a disaster, this defense. For the win, have turned around this map and then some. Their first half, they looked absolutely distraught. Nothing was going right for them. They couldn't win any situations. And suddenly, on the T side, the script is ripped in 2. This is looking even better than K23 was. They seemingly can't put a foot wrong.
Yeah, when everything's do go wrong, right, they got Stadodo to bail them out as well. You're losing a couple numbers on that A side. Execute, don't worry, Stadodo's got you. Maybe left into a clutch in the post plant in the 1v2. Stadodo, he's got you covered. He's not going to let that one slip. So that's also a huge lifeline, right? The good T-side half that we actually got to see out of K23. It could have been enough if they were able to capitalize on those 2v1s. But they didn't. It could have been in reverse, the scoreline. It could have been 14 for K23. That's not what we get today. That's not what we get right now. Instead, FTW getting very close to taking off the map pick of K23.
There's just something about that spot for Diaz. He's just attracted to it. This is my domain. Floating in the
It's
air.
a nice spot. You can hear a lot of footsteps, a lot of utility being pulled in that position because you're nice and close with less risk of being up short, right?
True.
You can't do it in matchmaking though, because then you'll just slide right off. So don't try it in MM.
You shouldn't have told them that. Let them suffer. That's what I say.
I play way too much matchmaking to let my fellow MMers down, my fellow soldiers here. This is much more like it. Finally, Jai was able to have some impact here, has some fun in the server, but
Oof.
it's still too late on back of familiar sight. K23 getting a taste of their own medicine. And Raging left on the back lines of Dice here. Can he get anything? It's a labored spray, but it gets the job done. Trades are so swift, though. You knew it was coming. Rose Dose able to entry in there. Now the plant, they know that there could be a flank, so stadodo just going to get himself safely tucked in the truck for that bomb plant. It's going to make these post plants even more difficult, though. Rose Dose has to cover the flank with his backside turned in. That molly going to save some time, though. stadodo, there's no way he's making this play. He's sitting inside the smoke, and it's going to work out. X5, you could have never anticipated something like that. A kit and Magno. We'll see if he can have one more here around in him. That's a nice 180, and he's sticking to the defuse right now. stadodo, he needs to dive on in. The bomb being stuck, and he finds it at the last second. stadodo, another clutch to get them on map point.
What is going on? Ah, this is madness. stadodo has been a monster. I mean, I don't know if they heard the player going through B short enough interconnected, but they just knew that there could be a player flanking. They were so close to planting in the default plant by the Dice, and they would have died. And stadodo makes a last-minute call to move the truck. Then they know they're getting pinched, so... I mean, it's so hectic. stadodo decides my only way out is to sit in this stairs smoke and to pray that it works. And it does. This is unbelievable, and the buyer's car boot cell level. No AWP, utilities lacking. Yes, the rifles are nice on X5 and Yayo, but God, for the win of a massive opportunity now just to close this out cleanly and be up one map in the series, going into their own map pick in the second.
Definitely not going to get any easier than this right here, right? You got yourself a couple of FAMASas, a couple of MP9s, and very little utility on the players with the rifles, so other M4s. It's not the best. They're gonna get caught on this long aggression. They've gone for it a couple of rounds before, and it's always been anticipated, but they get him throwing some utility instead, and now difficulties start to arise. A 5v3 here pretty quickly. Raging still on that bomb site, ready for this aggression. It's just nice of agile. stadodo and Rose Dose on the other side of the map are going to probably just desperately walk out B. If I was him, I wouldn't even want to give him an op, though.
Well, we're going on. Money is... I mean, it's decent for the win. I still think stadodo really wants to save this. So no need to get overzealous. Some upgraded rifles surely on the ground as well for this CT side. And go and collect those. That'd be nice. Starting to look a little bit better. So, first of 3 found for K23. And still got some life in them, which is a little bit surprising given how demoralizing some of their round losses have to have been.
Yeah, that one was super clean, right? I mean, all 5 alive. Maybe a bit of a wake-up call there for K23 once FTW finally hit map point. Finally struck a chord there. Finally brought him back to reality. All right, we're going to lose this game here if we don't start buckling down here and now. Able to do so, and their reward is 3 AKs. Well, you told me, I said that last round was the easiest opportunity to close. Well, it's just gotten a whole lot more difficult with the rifles now that they wield. No FAMASas, no MP9s. They got the full gun range here. They don't have long control, though. Not for now. Diaz is taking that very quickly.
Oh, I feel they're going to peek long there. That could be so awkward. This is intriguing. Are they really going to do this dry? Because...
Did they just hear that drop?
I think they might have. This is not looking good. It's not looking good at all. How has he got 2 out of that? He should have been a dead man. And he gets out of dodge. I think there might be divine intervention because I think that should have been GG.
They had it right on a silver spoon right there, but it's going to be hard fought for if they want to close this one out. One smoke, one flash. That's all they have to get into this one versus 3 players and a flank coming through connector here late in the round, but they're giving them fights here. Well, X5 has nailed the timing. It was a bit of a risk, a bit of a liability. You did not want to go down there if you were X5. You couldn't afford it, but he finds the kill instead. He's going to extend that advantage up to a 4v2. My, oh my. K23, they found the magic code. Like you said, maybe some divine intervention there with Balance finding somehow 2 kills right there. But it's enough.
I mean, I'd love to see the onboard. That first kill might even be mid-air. I don't understand.
Falling headshot, full blind. That's certainly a gift.
Oof. These guns are so important now to hold on to. Fortunately, nobody else is nearby, so that will be secured. But here we go then. Full 30 required, and this buy is right on the edge. Stadodo can drop a rifle, but surely he's going to be sacking some utility. Very intriguing. Very intriguing for the win. Seeding a couple match points here. As this buy comes through, it's a Galil drop from Stadodo so you can get some utility up. It's a bit of a mixed bag buy. Not all the bells and whistles. At least nothing compared to K23 who have everything here. Everything you could ever want. Whew. In a crack for a map so far and, well, maybe we deserve some overtime.
I think we do, but I think that FTW kind of fears overtime at this point. Talked about the series I got to cast a couple days ago and taking on iNation. They lost 2 separate overtime affairs. Both, I believe, 16 to 19. Something about maybe that this new formulation of a roster really doesn't hold well when it comes to the extra innings. But look at this fountain aggression here. Jayo gonna open things up with a beautiful kill. Now, how does he escape? The HE avoided by the edge of the fountain. He's able to stay afloat for now. Dancing out of this one's gonna be difficult, especially now that he's lost his teammate here. He has no help, and none's coming. Flashbang will get him out of dodge. Well set up for my disbalance right there. That's safety somehow, but again, it feels like divine intervention. No way was he ever able to get out of that.
I still think For the Win should be happy. Wetling numbers down here is good for them, and they still got utility. They might even got a piece off the ground by the look of it. So that helps. 4 men grouped up, and they're just contacting in. Balance is on the angle. Over here towards Divider. Is anybody going to go this direction? Barrel almost goes in from Stadodo. And he peeks wide. Oh. No clue. Assassinated. Instant headshot. 3 remaining. Balance is having a field day here in defense. There's a player behind him. It gets awkward. But it's just nope. Up against 2. Time is there for now, but it's going to dwindle soon. And he's going to make some tough decisions. If it's going to be B, he needs to go right now.
He's got to hit the jets before the rotations start to arrive. You can see that X5, he got a little bit antsy. He starts to realize that it's not going to be that A-side finish. Now he has a cutoff. He's already towards Graffiti. And such a nasty off angle. We're going to extra innings here. Overtime required to separate these 2 teams. We'll get there right after this break.
Back we are. Overtime. Map number 1. You wouldn't have expected it to make it this far at the end of the first half when K23 were dominating. You wouldn't have expected it to make it to overtime in the latter stages of the second half when For the Win were dominating themselves on the T side. But we're here. It's been a roller coaster and on more of a fitting end. Extra rounds required and hopefully the carnage is set to continue.
A little bit of a labor boost there assembled by Balance, but it gets the job done. Gets them a little bit of information there, short-lived. But like you said, a lot of surprises so far in this matchup. It's really hard to get a read on things because those last 3 rounds, it looks like how, the good old days of Overpass were, where you would get like 11-4 halves pretty consistently on those CT sides. They were winning rounds with like 4 or 5 alive. It finally looked clean for the first time in the entire half. So maybe K23 have found the winning formula. Maybe it was a little bit of a wake-up call that got them here, but we'll see if they can bring that same level into overtime. A position in which they did not want to be at the end of that first half, but they find themselves in here and now.
There's only 2 in defense on this B-bomb site, and X5 is on an island. His teammate is all the way in short water. This is not good. This is really not good. He's under so much pressure. He has to stay alive in backwater, and an instant trade is found. Magno might come out unchecked. Opus looking this way. Kill not found initially, but he does peek wide. Bomb is dropped. And actually, I think Magno has saved them here. Second kill comes off the back of the HE, and now it's become so awkward. How do you get this bomb down when you've got barely any utility left?
No smoke for heaven. They're going to have to just pluck Balance out of the server. That's going to be stadodo's job right now. And he goes for the fight, but he does not win it. Balance able to connect and somewhat weary of graffiti. There's a little bit of aggression. Magno back to familiar form for him. A 3K in the round. A heroic effort. He knew his job right there because you saw X5. He got overwhelmed on site. That was as a result of having no help there. He lands his 1-for-1 trade. That was probably even an overperformance. But then Magno decides he needs to be the hero. He needs to step up from short. He gets this kill. He tosses in a little dunking HE, jumping up. That's really good work from him to finish off that second frag. And then he closes it out with a 3K. Again, that's another clean round. Maybe not a super consistent round that you can gather, but K23 happy with the scoreline being back in their favor once again. And this boost, Balance does get disassembled there later down the line. Magno looking for early activation. Cuts the head off of one. Has the offer close by. That is dreamy. A setup for the quick 5v2 and bomb in their control as well. He turns his attention elsewhere and he lands himself another. Balance and Magno come into this overtime furious.
Feels like it. Where was this defense in regulation? They've just hit the ground running here. Looks sensational, and For the Win, 2 first overtime round was a pop through the monster smoke. This one was a set play. They wanted to pop out a short, but they never got that far because they just got absolutely annihilated. And wow, K23 completely changing the tone. Magno is back in play and looking good. 2 already found on the CT side. They're dropping extra guns in CT spawn just in case. They've got every advantage here, and actually this is madness. For the Win are going B for a 3rd round in a row. K23 expected that. That's why they're 4-stacking A, and they've actually got it wrong. It is going to be B. For the Win, quadruple mind games is somehow working. Nobody in defense, free bomb plant. This is this is crazy.
Absolute battle of the wits, but Magno able to pluck stadodo watching the flank right there. That's an unbelievable kill, and 2 players rather low for him. The HE damage done early. Nope, left in charge of this flank coverage. Magno able to avoid that flash, but they're starting to converge, and there's not the best of post plans here. Perfect flash though. Great setup coming through from Rose. Only good for the single kill, though. Raging now has a chance to step it up here. Up towards short surfacing. Jayo gets bested. They're still being such a nuisance as they late converge out of heaven as well. Bomb so far ticked, but they find all the kills to sweep the half. I disbalance. He has a kit. It's going to be close, but I think he's got it. And what on earth is going on? K23, they completely swing the momentum in their favor.
I can't believe Forward got nothing out of that inside. Two of those 3 rounds, you can't ask for better. One round is, I think it was X5, just on the site on his own. Literally can't do anything. Next time, the 3rd round, there's just a player in heaven. I mean, you can't get better than that. It doesn't go better than that on that sort of hit. And For the Win just not able to keep it together in these after plants. They're getting flustered. Maybe they should be taking more map control. But mistakes have slipped in. Mistakes we hadn't seen since the first half of regulation. And now their CD side was off. It was only right at the end where they got anything together. So wow, this would take some absolute heroics for the Win to turn this around.
Other than their better half, right? Apparently. And it's back to those last 3 rounds, like you said, they had the right reads. They had the really good executions towards the B side. They still weren't able to win it. That's so familiar of what we got out of that first half. On the defense, though. So FTW back into familiar territory here with back foot. 3 separate opportunities for K23 to close this one out. And Magno, I think he came into this half with like 24 kills in overtime. He's now on 31. He's right back to his original form here. Diaz, not ideal. The convergence that's being placed on him right now.
You'd love stadodo to be nearby, but he's not. It's just riflers. And this is going to get awkward. Players facing. Actually, they kind of peek out. What? That couldn't line up any better. That was a complete off angle from Diaz, and they just didn't expect it whatsoever. How has he got free out of that? I'm a little bit blown away. He should have been dead.
Oh my god. It looked like he like swung out right as they were throwing the flashbang. So yeah, perfect timing, but oh no. Round by no means over. What is going on right now? 5v2. Now 2v2 within seconds. Big overextension. FTW thought they had that round in the bag, but they certainly do not. stadodo looks to bring it back to more calm territory here. Jayo has to toss a smoke on the molly. A chance to isolate these fights. Rose's first duel. stadodo standing close by will nail it. Bailing them out of such a freebie round that comes so close.
It's almost frightening that that's what it takes to win around here in overtime. Diaz, be it luck, be it perfect positioning, he couldn't have been placed any better in that late scenario. Wow. stadodo fortunately bails them out in the end. He holds his nerve. Ooh, 2 more required is not out of the question. It just goes against the narrative we set in regulation. A lot of work here to do for the Win, and they make an aggressive call here. 4 on towards B. Don't know they're going to be ending that this way anytime soon to K23, but with the aggression here into short water, it could get very frisky. stadodo peeks and there's a player close. Gio hits the deck. McGill's going to get out of dodge. Man advantage now for the Win. Are they really turning this around?
I get a little bit of more action in this series. Agent spots out this long aggression here. Diaz is playing with fire, but last time he did this, he was able to get 3 kills, so I can only imagine his confidence is at an all-time high. This angle, though. This angle could catch him. No commitment. K23 deciding to fall back with their bomb here. Magno has a couple mollies that he could help out with this execute in front of him, but he's so very patient. What is the end goal? Seems like they're heading in towards this B side. But it feels like only a matter of time before FTW start to get weary of this.
It is good timing. There's only 2 here, but with the way the Win are playing, they're already thinking about a retake. Best chance here is cleaving the head off a Gill, I think. Flash comes in for a Rostos to peek, but sees nothing, and he's just biding his time. Now the rotator nearby, and it's a massacre. Magno can't get anything done. 17. Now for 4 the win. I'm a little bit stunned. This game, every time I feel like it's done and dusted. There's no recovery. It's too far gone. There's another ace up the sleeve, and maybe we are due a second overtime.
I think so. Much more convincing on the CT sides now for both teams. We'll see if that's the case here. We'll see if there's a chance to extend play. So early on, Jayo taking so much damage here. That's a great start. These guys have been in a constant spam battle. Neither one of them wants to concede. And Jayo, these last 2 rounds, he's been bested. This time he's down low. Last round, he was dead in the water. He is back in his prime position right now as well. This is scary stuff for FTW. Rather for K23.
Feels like both teams are a little nervy. Finally, the gravity of the situation is upon them. Long smoke comes out. Flash is good. Diaz in a lot of trouble. Massive entry in an all too pivotal round. Reaction comes out on B. There is B water control, but it's awkward, these fights. As long as K23 is careful, it's not going to be easy. X5 collects another 5 on 3 now, and they're wary of more B aggression. Stadodo spotted on A. And a Gil, he's not on the bomb site. He's got to get a lot done from this advanced position.
X5 isn't giving him an easy kill back, though. And he's always going to have to worry that X5 could activate late in this flank, so he can't turn his head away from Connector. He's so focused in on this position. X5 playing it perfectly. Now he's getting ready to strike. Now he's getting ready to surface. There's no way he'd be able to nail his timing. Agil able to land it fully flashed on the eye disbalance. It's a massive pickup right now. Jael looking to surface inside of the pit. Able to find one. The instant trade comes through. And a 1v2 asked of X5 here. Another round where he needs to be a hero. There is a kit. And there is coverage from Agil. He's looking to surface, but he's not going to peek in time. It's just a full stick coming through. And we're going to double overtime. We continue to play on.
Pretty stunning stuff. That last round was on a knife edge for so much of it. Wasn't like the 2 that preceded it. For the win. Wow. What a recovery when they looked absolutely dead. And we're going into a second overtime now. There's nothing between these teams. Very different approaches, very different styles of Counter-Strike. And it is most certainly entertaining. This is turning into quite the game on our hands.
No kidding. So hard to separate these 2 teams. So hard to even get a read on them as well. Just seems like there's no consistency in the momentum. 3 rounds strung together there. You would have thought K23 primed to close things out, but then the reply from FTW is right there with them. That last round, K23, they had a lot going for them, but that was a very composed retake. We were talking about a little bit of nerves showing in some of those setups and some of the battles and some of the fights that they were taking. When FTW, they were called upon in that retake, they did not back down at all.
It's pretty crazy to see Magnos come back alive going into that overtime. He had a lot of big rounds. Unfortunately, wasn't quite enough on the second part to get it over the line. But here we go. Overtime number 2. A couple restarts, as is the way with ESEA. And we get started for the win. Staying on their CT side. Whew. What a game. What a game. Stadodo has been such a monster. Had a mediocre first half, let's say, but from then onwards, he's been a complete beast. He's been an absolute beast, and I think they need him now more than ever. He is the one man that can end this game in favor of For the Win.
No question. Guy did get his stats reset at half, and he is at the end of that first half. He's almost back to top ranking.
That's pretty wild.
Even with that being a factor, that is insanity. Only 8 deaths since that turn of the second half. Been doing a little bit of saving here and there in that T side whenever they did lose rounds, but either way, it has been working out wonders for him. And he's going to be tested. He's going to get more opportunities. Talked about that CT side activation. He's at the right place.
Control in. Idis Balance finds a player peeking long for information. Is there another one though? That's Nope. I think Diaz is the A player, so they might not be expecting this. X5 looking towards the right side. How does he win that duel? He's jumping as he spots his adversary. And now they're in a lot of trouble. Stadodo's trying to get aggressive. He knows he needs to find frags before they commit onto him. First kill is found. He's up close. Can't get it done though. Idis Balance ready and waiting. And, well, you might have a lot of cash in overtime, but I still think you save this. Might as well.
No question, yeah, you don't want to really risk it. Sometimes that with the 12.5k, you can actually get some problems on that CT side economy. They have a little bit of utility. They have a flashbang as well, so maybe they'll give it an inch, see how far they can take it. The bomb's now half ticked here, so time is limited, and they're still very slow about things. Immediate dispatch over one. And Magno, maybe that's the last person you just wanted to crawl on into right there. You've given him 2 confidence-building kills on top of the other 33 that he had before that round. That could be a big factor here.
For those listening and wondering why I'm saying save, the one thing that can go wrong in overtime in 12.5 is that your AWP can't get an AWP on the last gun round. And one save would have ensured it. For sure. So, hopefully it doesn't come to that. But there is some jeopardy in that sense now in the mix. As K23 finally find that elusive terrorist round that they just required. Close this out 5 or 6 minutes ago. And they see back to their 2-1-2 defaults. They love this. They love just working the map, these guys, and letting the individuals go to work.
It's a perfect read right now for them, right? K23, you have the individuals, you have that firepower. So all that you need is an overextension in some part of the map. And bam, you can find yourself an opening pick. That's what they were able to find in that last round. A big fashion. Wait, one's in connector though. Stuck his way in the back line. It's a big pick onto Ragin. He's going to get caught running away. A little bit too lackadaisical. He doesn't expect Magno to still be in the back lines. It's a big pick. Follow-up lurk smoke as well. Stadodo might get caught a little bit uncomfortable here. Dancing around this utility. Stadodo finding that kill. It's got a lot of valuable information, but it hasn't bought any time. They've already made their way out of Monster.
Gil, so much work to do. Does get the first peeks up off that utility from his teammate. And Idis Balance now is in for a lot of trouble. Big hold from a Gil. He almost died before he got his smoke off. And that would have been round over, so... Fast fingers, fast thinking, just in time. As we see a pause coming in. It would be quite stunning if either team had attack towards this late into the game, but... I guess we'll find out. Magnos is just... He just keeps going. He just keeps going. It wasn't enough, unfortunately, that time, but... This kid keeps finding frags.
No kidding. Guy is a stud. Not a freebie in that last round, but he'll certainly take it. And he tried to really sell that fake. I think if he wasn't able to draw out as much attention towards A, that monster play wouldn't have gone as smoothly as it did. Right there, but still, it's a little resurgence to fight back from FTW. They have some fast reactions, just the same. We're tied back up at 19-19. We'll see if that one elusive round is enough for K23 or if they need something else here. They're able to sweep the last CT side.
On we go. 19 apiece. Who's going to blink first? K23 really like these loose rounds. Very rare for them to group up and go for an execute. Rygen's got a good spawn. He's out in front. Oh! And Diaz is punished. Mid-smoke doesn't bloom fast enough. And that aggression, that boldness is both warranted and rewarded. Rostos is also tagged down through the smoke. It's not a good start here for the win. And they would dearly love taking advantage into the second chunk of this second overtime.
That would be a statement. It seems like they figured out their defense so well here. On their CT side, to get into overtime, they won 3 in a row. And they won 3 in a row right after that. So they haven't been losing too many CT rounds. But stadodo has been an absolute thorn in their side here. 24 kills for the man. But, well, I mean, that's just an overtime in that second half. Again, the guy has been fragging up a storm since the rounds have started to flow for FTW. Magno. Oh, this angle. Unlikely to be covered as Jyo takes full control of B. This should queue up rotations, depending on how far Jyo can go. But then you have that player right in the middle. Rosdos waiting. Which can he get away with?
25 seconds. This is going to be a mess. This is going to be an absolute mess. They have to trade a Rostos immediately. Whole round hinges on this interaction. Highest balance jumps. Trade is good. And Jyo is so far forward. They might never expect him. And players actually on the bomb side. 10 seconds. Stadodo fighting to deny the plant, but I don't think it's going to happen. Wow. That went from 0 to 100 in the last few seconds.
stadodo landed the tag right there, but he couldn't land the frag. He only wallbanged them. If he could have plucked him out of short, there wouldn't have been enough time to plant. That could have been the round done and dusted. Like you said, with such little time left, they had to land that instant trade. They were able to do that. I just balance really wise to just sacrifice yourself with the Tech 9, clearing out as many different positions as possible. That is so smart from him. It's completely bailed them out of any sort of strife in that round, any sort of potential loss. Jyo as well, taking all that initiative. You knew that B-side rotate was coming, but you didn't know how much time they were going to have to get that rotation downrange. So everyone was able to play very composed, and it's going to be a winning T-side in that overtime right there.
Sets them up perfectly. First overtime, of course, was CT sweeps across the board. So I think it bodes well. Bodes very well. Now a pause comes in. Hopefully we're not here too long. We're right in the thick of the action. And yeah, it's been a bit of a slog so far, this game. It's getting pretty long.
Yeah. Yeah, it has. You have a little bit of a delay in starting. Again, maybe some lack of league passes in play. But been about an hour and a half so far. Overpass. We get so much out of it. Felt like it was going to be a quicker game as well, right? I thought that we were going to have a very quick match. 10-5 T-side.
No.
In theory, right? You're thinking this one's going to be over. We're going to be heading into map number 2 very quickly. But yeah, I couldn't have been more wrong.
No. You can never predict this stuff. They've had a lot of funky games so far in EU Challenger, and this one is on cue. On suit with the others. I have enjoyed it, though. K23's new lineup is, I mean, it's definitely spicy. It's exciting. Rygen's a really good signing for them. He works well. Magno, before today, I didn't really know him. I knew who Webster's were, but in terms of his role in that team, wasn't so aware. But I mean, man, he's been amazing. So K23 feels like there's a lot of good pieces here. They're winning this game, but yeah, there is a little bit of work to do, I think, as this tournament progresses if they really want to compete for let's say top 4.
It's going to be a long road ahead of them. And it does look like they have some issues that they need to iron out. But in terms of some of the firepower, they've got a lot of it, right? They got a lot of players that can show up into the server, especially if Magno's going to be like this consistent throughout the season, right? If he's able to deliver this on a regular basis, then they're not going to have too much troubles in that department. It's very exciting to see his performance right now. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to him in the future. K23 as a team, I think, is just really good at nailing down some talent.
Pipeline of the players from this region is just ridiculous. It's
got one of the best NAIGLs in Nealon.
That's true. Absolute god. The savior. The savior of any Counter-Strike. Shout out to Nealon. There's bodies on the ground.
Oh.
I hope they haven't fallen asleep. We're about to get back underway. A few too many sleeping pills for him.
Wide awake is what you need to be right now. It looks like asleep at the wheels, Magno.
Are we missing a flashbang there? What's happened there?
Had it bounce straight off the wall. I don't know. Good question there, but sloppy start to the second half of play. If you wanted to close this one out, it's going to get a little bit more difficult because this round is looking less and less likely as time goes on.
I'm feeling triple OT right now. This round looks so good for the win. They're absolutely mauling their opponents. Idis Balance apparently has 13 assists, which would be quite momentous. I don't think so. The HUD's just having one of its moments. And Idis Balance, it's kind of what I was saying earlier with stadodo. We should think about trying to save this. Let's get the first, but Nope is in from behind. stadodo's going to punish anyway, and we're back. 20 apiece. In the game that never ends.
Oh boy. I heard a little bit of pain in your voice there when you mentioned triple overtime. But I think that the only pain coming through K23, right? That's a huge problem right there. They felt like maybe they could take some risk with their lead in the T side, right? But you need to have some calculated risk. You can't just be throwing yourself to the wolves like that. Speaking of flashbangs, there are some on the CT side, or the T side, I should say. FTW constantly blinding off Idis Balance, not allowing for him to get some opening proceedings.
This is aggressive. They're actually committing in front of the mid nades. Gotta be so careful. And it's not a good position to take first contact from. I don't think it's a good duel for Jyo if he gets kind of cleared. Nobody's looking that way, so nothing comes to fruition in the end. Run boost for long control and clear. There's nobody here in defense given the mid side and divider side numbers. A lot of movement. This is a much more dynamic CT side than For the Win ever presented. At any point in this game, they've already taken B control. They're leaning back. This is looking pretty good for K23 and get these numbers over.
Idis Balance is taking a lot of ground towards divider as well, so icing on the cake there. That off angle being held from Jyo, able to do a little bit of chip damage onto that opper, taking an 8 off his shoulder. They still have this triangulated setup, and they still only have 30 seconds left to execute. Counter utility needs to be start flowing on in here very soon. And there's one of them. Idis Balance getting that underhand smoke down, but they're already scaling cast site rage and doing a great work here, holding down the line, and the utility completely collapses in. That is the advantage. That's the sort of map control that could lead to the success. So those are the setups that we saw from FTW that didn't fully formulate into round conversions, and this time K23 able to get the job done.
Looked good. Those smokes and toilets just made it absolute hell for the players coming from that area to have any influence. Spacing wasn't amazing either from For the Win, and that was a death sentence. Way too many players to get past. You had to be perfect, and you had to get a couple entries. And it wasn't to be seen. K23 back on map point. Such a slog to get to this point in the game. But maybe they can just convert it. Still on the defense. Idis balance. Been mobile, he's been dynamic, and this round he's over towards long. So we've seen a long take last time. It's inadvisable for the win to go that way again.
Doing a little bit of a boost here, but Rage is setting up a molly maybe to counteract this boost. Oh, the HE lands, and then the molly's going to follow suit. What is going on here? They're getting ready to boost as well. There's the utility, and now they can set themselves up in for a chance to actually open things up. They've done so much damage, but they don't fully commit. The smoke deters them. Raging trying to find something, but they have completely read that short default like a book, denying the boost, landing HEs on top of them. So much damage already done, but there's a very big weakness on that A side here. It's just Idis balance with the op. Not worried at all about long. He's right in doing so. But his teammates need to start rotating in. They've just cleared out all of Monster. Now they're clearing out short. Now they know. And that's going to draw in rotations. That's going to bring in the reinforcements here. Wait.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I thought he heard him towards long. I can just collect one, though. It's such an awkward duel, and stadodo's got another. And it's happening. It's happening. Surely it's happening. Bomb is dropped front side. Gio trying to end this. Stadodo one-on-one, and indeed he does. I was certain that was going triple OT. Absolutely certain. And then an absolute cascade of frags. And they end it. I mean, I actually can't believe it's over.
What?
How has it ended? Like, I mean, it had to, didn't it? It had to just make no sense how it ends.
That's a nice little bow. Right there for this map, man. What a fitting way to end. I cannot believe it.
I mean, what a map. I mean, never has